Hello and welcome to the channel. It is the World Chess Championship 2024, contested by the champion Ding Liren of China and Gukesh Dommaraju of India, the challenger, the young upstart looking to become the youngest world champion ever. Today was game one. It was a fantastic game, so let's get right into it. The excitement started on move one as Ding Liren played a French defense. And Gukesh did what you're supposed to do at top level. He went into a classical French defense. With white, there are a couple of ways to play this. You can play the classical as Gukesh plays. You can also play the Tarash. You can also play the advance, and you can also play the exchange. So there's a couple of ways for white to play, but Gukesh plays the most principled way with the classical. Ding develops his kingside knight. It gets booted and the knight retreats. And you're going to see in a moment as Gukesh takes space with f4, Ding Liren plays the classic French move c5, striking at the center because this center is very solid. It takes up a lot of space, but black is going to look to undermine it with c5 and perhaps f6. Gukesh plays this interesting move, retreating the knight, but it protects both of his key pawns. Ding develops his queenside knight as we get c3. Ding's already spent a couple minutes, but here he spends quite a lot. He was trying to remember what he should play in this position, but instead he comes up with his own idea and he plays the move a5. Gukesh blitzes out the move knight to f3, and Ding continues with his plan a4. We get the development of the dark squared bishop, the same with black, and Gukesh here detonates g4. He is going for the throat. He's going to attack. The moment Ding castles, it's going to be a problem. But Ding's not castled yet. And Gukesh says he doesn't play this move without preparation, but that preparation is a bit questionable when Ding plays Queen a5, and Gukesh has to think for 20 minutes. He continues with the basic plan of the position, which is bishop to g2, and Ding spends another several minutes to play a3, but it is the whole idea to start undermining the center. So we get b3, but this last takes. Um, Gukesh throws in the in-between move, the attack on the queen, queen back to c7, and then you take with the knight. But this allows Ding firstly to develop his knight, and then after Gukesh castles, he can put his knight right in this juicy square. And although Gukesh is up on time, Ding Liren is kind of seized back a bit of the initiative, as he's going to start creating threats on this pawn. The bishop moves out of the way. Ding develops his problem bishop, the French bishop, the light squared bishop. And here we get queen to e2. It is the best move, but you will see Gukesh spent 30 odd minutes on the move, giving up a large portion of his time advantage. And Ding here very quickly takes the knight, and Gukesh has to take with the dark square bishop. Although this looks completely stupid, it long term protects this pawn and it allows you to get in f5, which will be the big breakthrough in this position. Gukesh takes with the knight, which is okay, but after knight b2, you're going to leave yourself problems. Gukesh finds queen to e3, protecting this pawn, but it's not going to be good enough because we get rook to c8, and after rook c1, it's not, you can't take the pawn, but you can play queen to c4, and you're threatening this pawn, and you're threatening a queen exchange. So after we finally get this move f5, it comes a moment too late because Ding Liren offers the queen trade, which would be winning for him, and Gukesh must play queen f4 to try and keep the initiative going. Instead, he goes backwards, and this is a mistake. Ding Liren is now winning on the board and winning on the clock, as you can't take this pawn just yet, but you can add more pressure with firstly the bishop attacking the rook, and when the rook moves up, you play rook to c4. You are threatening to take the knight, at which the rook will be undefended. So Gukesh finds the move firstly attacking the dark squared bishop, but after the bishop comes in, these pawns have been pushed too far. The white king is now in danger, and you get queen to b1, protecting the rook, but you lose the c3 pawn, and you can take. Ding Liren is now up a pawn, and here Gukesh takes, is looking to open up the king, and Ding Liren must be brave and take with the bishop. It's the same thing as earlier, it protects everything important, and even this position is fine, because what happens in the game is he takes with the pawn, which gives up a large portion of his advantage if and only if after knight e2, queen takes e5, knight takes f4, queen takes f4, Gukesh must play bishop to c5. It cuts the king off from castling and exposes an attack on the queen. He doesn't find that. He first plays queen to c2, and that is probably the final mistake that he makes because we get queen to c4. There's now no more discovery on the queen. It threatens a queen exchange. So Gukesh avoids the queen exchange, but this allows Ding to play move 31 short castles. We get bishop to d4. The knight comes in, so the queen can now take the bishop, so it must be protected. So we get the exchange of rooks, and now the knight looks like it's going to be lost. But Ding Liren, calculating cool and calm as a cucumber, he can play the move e5 because after takes, you are able to take this pawn with check. The light squared bishop blocks, which is not preferred, and your light square bishop, the bad French bishop, comes in to save the day. It protects the knight. The dark square bishop retreats, protecting the last remaining pawn of note around the king. And the light square bishop comes in to offer itself for an exchange. Uh, Gukesh does not take it. Ding creates a bit of left for his king. And after the queen gets booted out, it allows it to sneak in here. And although you can try and create threats on Ding's king, it doesn't come in time, as he can give a check, win this pawn, and Gukesh throws him one final task. Can you choose a 50-50 choice? Because if you go here, you throw the game completely after this sequence where white can take your bishop with check, and when you capture back with the pawn, they take your queen. But Ding Liren chooses correctly and wins game one of the World Chess Championship. He's not won for over 300 days, but he wins today to take the lead. How will Gukesh respond tomorrow? He's been defeated when he had the white pieces in a French defense. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, comment if you didn't enjoy it, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. Until next time.